Wait a minute. I thought the beauties on The View were proud parishioners at Woke United Methodist. Except, of course, for the whoopee cushion who attends Sunday morning services at Fountain of Flatulence. I thought the yentas on The View were proud worshipers of the weather. I thought they worshipped Mother Earth. I thought they were extremely concerned about the changing seasons, which they used to call global warming, but because that pesky winter kept getting in the way, they changed the name to climate change. There are many adjectives that could be used to describe the ladies on The View. Hell, we have come up with so many adjectives here on the channel, it's hard to keep up with them all. The yentas, Big Red, the Great Pretender, the Radiant Asuncion. The whoopee cushion, the anonymous yentas whose only purpose is converting oxygen to carbon dioxide. But of all the adjectives used to describe the toxic, insufferable women on The View, the one thing I have never heard them described as is Christians, which is why I was incredibly confused yesterday morning when the whoopee cushion, had the audacity to deliver a blasphemous lecture to Christian women on abortion. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble across this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Search Behind the Line here on YouTube. Should be the first channel that comes up. Now, if I am looking for biblical guidance, there are a plethora of resources that are available to me. If I'm looking for fake joy, I'll watch Joel Osteen. If I'm looking for tough, in-your-face preaching, I'll listen to someone like Mark Driscoll. But the last place, and I mean the last place, that I would go looking for biblical guidance is The View. Yeah, for some reason, the whoopee cushion felt like she was entitled to tell Christian women what to think when it comes to abortion. If those same women were looking to attract a man by using the hypnotizing powers of the Boodle Breeze, Whoopi Goldberg, she would be the go-to source. But just because the whoopee cushion played a nun in some doofus movie in the early 90s, that does not make her qualified to tell Christian women what she thinks the Bible says about abortion. Yesterday morning, the beauties on The View, they were discussing abortion. I don't know why they were discussing this because most of the women on The View, they aged out of the pregnancy demo decades ago. The only time the whoopee cushion would need an abortion is if she got pregnant in the afterlife. But during the discussion, Whoopi Goldberg asked Catholic women who were against abortion if that's the way Jesus wants them to be. Now, obviously, I can't get into the mind of Jesus, and I'm no expert on the Bible, but I'm pretty sure the answer to that question is yes. The whoopee cushion, she tries to guilt Catholic women into being more tolerant when it comes to this issue. Watch it for yourself.
I'd like to remind all those Christians and Catholics out there that it is a much bigger conversation than just abortion. If you are concerned about what this does to a human being in their life, is this the way Jesus wants you to be? Is this the way Jesus wants you to act? Doesn't Jesus want you to be able to say to somebody, come over here, I know you must be going through something tough.
Absolutely.
As opposed to what we're seeing.
Basically, what Whoopi Goldberg is doing here, she is telling Christians to be more tolerant of the beliefs of others, which is really ironic when you think about it, because The View, it is filled with toxic, intolerant women where only one opinion is allowed on the show. Tolerance is how we got here. Tolerance is how we got to the point where Bob with the soon-to-be-removed knob is allowed to dominate women's basketball. You see, for decades, normal people had been told to be more tolerant and they acquiesced. And deacons at Woke United Methodist, they kept pushing and pushing and pushing the boundaries of acceptance until we reach the point where we're at today, where normal people are finally starting to push back. Look, I know abortion is a very important issue to a lot of people. Me personally, I don't care about abortion. Doesn't affect me. Contrary to the belief of Timmy Walls, I don't have a menstrual cycle. I will never need the services offered at Planned Parenthood. As I was watching that debate Tuesday night, and they were going back and forth on abortion, and to their credit, both Tim Walz and J.D. Vance, they were highly respectful throughout that debate the other night. What we saw Tuesday night, that is exactly how presidential debates should be. Besides, of course, the doofus moderators at CBS. Hell, at this point, they'd be better off having ChatGPT moderating these debates. But anyway, as I'm watching them go back and forth on abortion the other night, the only thing I kept asking is why? Why in the hell are they wasting time talking about this? If there wasn't a war in the Middle East, if there wasn't a war in Ukraine, if the southern border wasn't spread wider than the bruised caboose where millions and millions of people are coming into the country and we have no idea who in the hell they are, if we didn't have a president who was knocking on heaven's door, if inflation wasn't higher than Bob Greiner after spending a weekend with Cheech and Chong, if we didn't have all these other major issues, I would have no problem seeing candidates debating abortion. I'd have no problem with CBS asking J.D. Vance how he plans to control the weather. But the truth is, we do have these major issues. I know abortion is important to a lot of people, especially women, but why don't we focus on solving the real problems first, then we can focus on abortion? Am I the only one that sees it that way? I'm not saying the issue of abortion is not important. I'm just saying there seems to be other issues that are far more important. But look, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You tell me. Also, give me your thoughts on Whoopi Goldberg having the audacity to lecture Christians. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel tomorrow.